1, 2, 3. Okay. Totally prepared. I'm definitely not using these 3 minutes to last minute get things ready. Sorry about that. If you'll just bear with me, at least I'll have some music in a moment. Oh shoot, I hope the volume isn't too loud. Okay, we're good. Alright, solid. Okay, load this up. Gotta get out my checklist. Load that. New window this. I just realized I probably should have everything like consolidated, because I have all these programs that I use and they're all like they're all separated, different files, different tabs, different launch buttons. It would have made sense to kind of just have it all together. Next time. Sometime. Oh no, I got logged out? Okay, no. I'm okay. Okay. Still getting ready, still getting ready. Okay. I gotta alt-tab into... Oh, I need to close this. Uh-oh. Save memory. Save memory. Have my checklist open. Only 1 minute left. Oh no. Please, please, please. Boy, I sure hope I don't embarrass myself on that stream that no one's watching. How awful. Alright, calibrate. Camera on. Whoa, whoa, that's way too big. What happened? Okay. Ah. Hey, there we go. Alright. You know, I don't interact with other VTubers, but I wonder what they say when they get their model ready. Like, is it that they put their face on? Is it that they got their mask? I have no idea. Okay. I sent the things to advertise. Send the thing to advertise. Oh, and I'm live. Okay. Did I erase enough? I think I did. No, I didn't. There's way too much stuff on here. There it is. Okay, sorry for the flickering. And please bear with me while I clean up this mess. What? Oh, no. My music's on repeat. That's not good. Loop. There we go. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a shuffle loop. Sorry about that. Alright. And then I think the only thing I'm missing is my beginning spiel, which I will once again pull up on something else. That is not it. Ah, here we go. Alright. Vtutor 8. Live. Why does it keep flickering? I'm sorry. Let me try to fix this. Give me a moment. There shouldn't be any flickering. Is everything pulled up? Nothing minimized? Yeah. Ah, okay. LIVE or Vtutoring live if you want to. Okay, so what this is about, and I probably should have always start saying this in the beginning, but Vtutor 8 is the idea of providing tutoring for free virtually with the VTuber model. Clever, right? But it's totally optional. Yeah, no one has to do it. You guys or gals could show up whenever you need it and not show up when you don't. But today, if no one needs help with tutoring or hopefully math, I mean, hopefully if you need tutoring help, it'd be with math. But I guess I could help with like a little bit of English, but mostly math. Today, if no one needs help with homework, then I'm going to go over a lesson plan I had prepared, which is money math. It's math with money. Clever, right? I think so. Okay. And I think... Oh, geez, it must be like... Three weeks ago, it was about APY. 2 weeks ago, it was about APR. And this week is about something that's interesting but not interest. Alright. So... where is it? I started a little bit, I think, on the last stream. But someone needed help with homework, which was perfect, which is great. I loved it. It was able to help them out with trigonometry. But this week, I'm going to try to do... Where? Oh my gosh. Are my notes together? Yeah, I'm going to try to continue the lesson plan, again, unless someone needs help. Alright, so, let's start with things that are not interest. Can I type on this? I'm still learning this software. I don't know if I can type. Oh, I can! Can I make it big? Things that are not interest. Oh. Oh. Okay. How do I make this big? I'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Do I erase? Oh. Oh, I zoom in and out. That's how I do it. Oh, that's so clever. Okay. Oh, I can type now. Oh, that's... Oh, I should have things typed up more often. Okay. Alright. Oh, and by the way, I should put free. Vtutoring live if you want to. Please don't flicker. It did not flicker. Okay, cool. Alright, things that are not interest. But are interesting. Alright, again, sorry for the silliness. Now I can actually focus on the lesson plan that I had planned. And my apologies for repeating myself, because I have a tendency to repeat myself. So apologies for repeating myself. Let's start with buy now, pay later. So the reason why I talk about things that are not interest is because usually when it comes to things like credit cards or a loan or maybe a high yield savings account, those things have interest which either work in your favor or against you, not in your favor, where things can be more expensive or you make money. These are things that are neither of those technically, and sometimes they can get confusing, like, oh, I'm saving money or I'm losing money, when it's really a bit of neither, but also it can be risky. Because anything that's money can be a little risky. By the way, this is not financial advice, I think, because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know why everyone says that. I guess it's important. So yeah, if you lose money, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just trying to tell you about things that are there and how to do math with them. So let's start with buy. Oh wait, I could type. let me try that. Let's see. buy now, pay later? And I guess I highlight and oh, that's so cool. That's so exciting. Oh wait, oh wait, how did I? Okay, am I not able to? Okay, that's how I move it. That's how I move it. Buy now, pay later. Yeah, look at this. So professional. What a professional font. What is that? Times New Roman? Okay. So buy now, pay later is technically neither APY or APR. What that means is APR is the interest rate on something that you take a loan out of and you have to pay extra for. So think of like a bank loan, a student loan, credit cards. APY is something that you kind of put away money and it gets you money back. So think of like a bond, think of like a savings account, although that's kind of small. So buy now, pay later is usually something that's related to Klarna. I really got to get used to typing, but I like my writing. Klarna is kind of the premier system for this sort of thing where you pay for something. No. You get something and then you pay for it later, usually in segments. So let's say, for example, and here's a silly example, right? Let's buy, what does this look like? Yeah, let's make it a booger. Not a booger, a burger, a hamburger, meat, buns, I guess a pickle, an onion. Good enough. Lettuce. So you buy something, which in this case is a consumable, eatable item that you can't really refund, right? And by using the service of buy now, pay later, you would get to eat it, and you would pay for it after the fact, so at another date. Maybe in pieces, segments, again. I think this is usually more for like expensive food purchases, like pizza, of all things. But what it allows you to do is to kind of treat it sort of like a credit card. But what the difference between a credit card and this system, Visa, is that with a credit card, if you don't pay it off at the end of the pay period, right? So say, for example, you buy a burger with Visa. Actually, I shouldn't exit out. Let me explain it first. If you buy a burger with Visa, you're not paying for it right away. You're kind of taking out a small loan for it. And then you promise to pay it back at a later date when the next I think billing period is what it's called, is due. So you still have to pay for the full amount at that time, and they would say it's, let's go with $10. That's a lot of money for a burger. And so with that, then if you do not pay it right away, or, yeah, if you choose not to pay the full or minimum amount, anything less than a minimum amount, then you would be charged interest. So if you only pay, let's say, I don't know, $1, and you just let it roll over into the next period. Then with an interest rate of, let's say, for example, 25% APR on the remaining $9, then you would be losing. That's not right. Why? No. APR should be per year, so you'd get charged an extra 18 cents. Ugh. Again, might not seem like a lot, but this adds up. This adds up if you're doing $100, $1,000, hundreds and thousands of dollars, who knows, right? Purchases. Then this little bit of interest kind of adds up each month, each pay period, that you don't have the full amount or minimum amount paid off. So, in that way, a Visa can, over time, accumulate more interest, and then you're paying more for the goods and services than you normally would, even though you're trying to delay it, or pay it very slowly, or delay payments. Usually the interest will kind of catch up and be bad. So that's Visa. Now, buy now, pay later, what it does, or not just Visa, that's credit cards. But buy now, pay later, what that does is, and let me try to avoid it, something different, where you still are paying the $10, and instead of having to deal with interest, it's kind of a free-for-all, honestly. So they would say, okay, maybe you pay $10 at the end of a period, or maybe you pay $1 per month, right? So then it goes into $1. And then you have the remaining $9 and you let that roll over, right? With these systems, what they're doing is they're not charging interest. I don't believe they even report it to credit agency. And some are exploiting this by getting expensive purchases and simply not paying it back. I do not recommend that. That is terrible. Please don't use buy now, pay later to buy things beyond your means and then never pay it back. But what people can do is, really stretch this out and not have to worry about this little bit of interest that accumulates. And that's why it is technically not interest, because there is no 18 cents that you owe at the end of a pay period. It's just gone. That kind of looks a little messed up. There we go. So, because you don't have to pay that interest, and because there is no urgency to pay that remaining amount, and because there isn't really, at this time, kind of the force of law or credit reporting that would normally come with something like a delinquency on a credit card, a lot of people really like this option. They think it's great. But please, please, please don't fall into the trap of just accumulating a lot of this money that you owe eventually and not paid back. That's bad. But if this works for you, if this system works for you, you're able to go by their rules, accept their terms, and feel like it's better paced because you could pay that $1 over a period of, like, I don't know, 10 months, right? Something crazy like that. They have different options. Maybe not one that crazy, but then if it works that you don't have to pay the interest, you don't have to worry about it, and you're able to kind of budget for this thing, then yeah, go for it. Buy now, pay later. It's great. It can work, and it is kind of a high trust system that is not as punitive as a credit card. Not to say that I should wholly replace it, because if you're going into credit card debt and it snowballs because you can't afford it at all, and you're just using buy now, pay later to substitute that, and you're not being able to pay off things, then that's bad. Maybe you should relook at your finances and try not to use either system, and you're able to pay for things in full. Another thing that is not interest, but interesting, is, oh, by the way, I meant to say lifestyle creep. Now, okay, so the good thing is 0% interest, right? The bad thing, I should put good. Make it nice and clear. Good equals 0% interest. The bad, and sorry, it's a little all over the place because I'm just looking at my notes now, is lifestyle creep. Now, lifestyle creep is the thing that happens when someone starts making money, a little bit money, or a little bit more money, and they decide to spend it in increasing amounts for different things. So let's say, for example, you have a car payment, right? and you have just enough money to make that car payment, but then you get a promotion, and you could think, wow, not only can I afford a car payment, if I sell my car and I get a new car and a new car loan, then my new position can cover that amount, even though it's higher and it's more. And so that kind of creeping lifestyle where you're trading in vehicles, where you're getting new services, where you're buying goods or more luxury goods that you weren't before, that is called lifestyle creep. Now again, that's totally fine. That happens, everyone does it. The thing is that you just have to kind of be careful about it and do it in moderation. So, you know, maybe not, say, oh yeah, I spend my whole paycheck every month and I'm down to $0. But now I got like an extra quarter per hour, and now I could, still do that and then get better things, right? No, you should still be smart, budget, have a savings account, all that kind of stuff. Now, the reason why I say it's bad in this example with Klarna is because with the buy now, pay later system, maybe someone doesn't think this thing costs $10, and if they budget maybe in a weekly or monthly sense, then they would realize, yeah, you know what, if I do this every week for $10, it's a little bit more than I can afford, right? So, and this is where the math part comes in. Let's say, for example, you make $100 a week. And you spend about, let's say, 91 a week on bills from work. Pardon me. So, then you only have $9 left per week. And if you're going to out and to buy a $10 burger, normally you would think, okay, I can't afford that this week. I have to wait for next week, and then I can combine it and have 18, and then I can get this $10 burger, right? So normally, about one burger per 2 weeks. And I think, even though I'm writing this very sloppily and slowly, you might see where I'm coming from a mile away even. But I'll just go through it just to kind of be thorough. So normally you could only afford one burger a week, and so that'd be minus 10. Sorry. Times 2, 18. Remainder after 2 weeks. And then you do a minus 10 burger. Oh, this is terrible writing. I should probably get one of those tablets. Although it probably wouldn't look that much different now I think about it. Anyways, you would have $8 remaining that you could kind of roll over into the next pay period or put into savings. Ideally, you'd put this all into savings, but if you're just spending it on burger and it's your burger money, then you'd have $8 remaining, and then you can kind of go on from there, right? Cool. That's great budgeting. Now, with Klarna, the problem with buy now, pay later is, again, you're only paying $1, and that's deceptive. Because this $1, you think, oh man, I'll need to save 2 weeks. Now I can just buy the burger this week. It only costs $1. That's easy, right? Then for the first week, you go down to 8. Next week comes by, you have another 9 remaining. You think, oh man, yeah, I could just keep buying a burger every week. It doesn't matter. So then you're just paying this thing. And I'm pretty sure there's a formula for this, but I forgot it. I'm sorry. Where you would have, let's say, minus $1 per week that increases every week. And then you do plus $9 a week that increases. That is only increase. Okay, sorry. No, there is a formula for this. Okay, I almost had it. Okay, so you have $9 that you get every week. So that would be what? Multiplicative? I think so. Where X is the number of weeks. And then you minus $1, where that is, oh geez, how do I even do this? It's 9 over a period of 10. So for up to 10? Shoot. See, this is why I wish I had a chat, because they could probably have helped me. Or, I mean, if you're watching and you want to chat, I apologize because I have to have the whole authentication for, what was it? Phone and email. But I'm gonna figure this out. No, I really want to get this one, because this is actual money math. I can see it. I can smell it. Let's see. It's $1 that increases. No. Would it be an exponent? That doesn't make sense. Okay, so if I do 1 times x, it would be x plus something. No. Let me make this easier. Okay. You have $9 that you make a week. And I know I'm floundering, but I'm also a little stubborn, because here's the thing. I was going to talk about other stuff. I was going to talk about lifestyle creep, leverage, rate of return, dividends, collectibles, retirement accounts, and purchasing power. I will get to that eventually. But once I reach the end of that, then that's it. And I really want to actually do math here. So let me try to figure this out. $9 a week. That is your income. That's going to be minus the amount that you spend, which would be normally 1 burger, which is $10, every 2 weeks. Okay. And then that amount equals your remainder. So then let's say, for example, if 10 weeks pass by. Well, how many weeks are in a month? 4.5? You know what? Let me just go for a year. How many weeks are in a year? And here's where I bust out trusty old device. Weeks in a year. Is it 52? 52. Alright, so if x equals 52, then you have spare money, pocket change. That is 25, not 52. 9 times 52. Of this. Okay, I write down 1 year. X equals weeks. Okay. So then you're gonna, oh wow, that's a lot of money. Geez, from $9 a week? Holy crap. $468. And then if you budget properly, you're only spending, buying a burger every 2 weeks. Because you're just $1 short of getting that $10 burger per week. Unfortunate. So then you do, what is it? 52 divided by 2, which becomes, let me scoot it over. 26? I'm gonna guess 26. $10. which then becomes $260. And so then the remaining amount of money that you have after buying all these burgers is $208 a year. Ah, there we go, finally. Okay, now that is an example of 1 year of responsible buying of burgers. Cool. Now, let's look at Klarna though. Let's see if someone falls into the trap, right? If they say, oh, well, maybe I could just buy it every week now because it only costs $1, and I could pay $1, maybe like let's say a week, right? Sure, it makes the math easier. Maybe it might be 2 weeks, maybe it might be a month, but let's go with a week for now. So then the formula changes. It still becomes 9x because that's your income minus 10. Okay, now this is the part that I got stuck on, but I think I know what to do. It will be 10... no. Shoot. Well, it's $1, so it'd be actually divided by 10. And then you're spending... okay, so 10 divided by 10 is 1. What was it, like 1? Boy, I wish I was good at math. Okay, let me think. Geez, why am I blanking out? 10. I feel like it's going to be an n-1 equation. I feel like it's going to be one of those, but I really don't want it to be. I'd rather have like some kind of funky brute force, easy to look at equation than n-1. But it's probably an n-1. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll have to do it that way. Where n equals 10. Is it like 1 to the n? Minus 1? Over... x? 10? That seems redundant. No, that's probably incorrect. Okay, let me try it this way. There's going to be $10 spent functionally per week, but the amount that's spent is also going to be divided over ones, and it's going to be an increasing amount because it's... jeez, I don't know. Maybe I had it right. It's just n-1. But that doesn't do anything. No. I'm floundering on this. Okay. What is the most brute force way? If I write it out properly, then it'd be minus $1. Then it'd be minus $2 ad nauseum until the 10th month, where then I believe it would stabilize into minus $10. So it'd be minus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me go to 10. And then instead of increasing, it would stay at 10. Okay. Now I'm seeing the picture. So it would be... Don't tell me. Or, I mean, please tell me. If anyone in the chat would know how to do this. God, but man, if I figure this out, this would be golden. Oh, I see. 1 plus. That's what it is. Oh, okay. 1 plus. Not x minus 1. What it? 1 plus 1 to the x power minus 1? Minus 10. Does that work? Okay, let me think. The first week, right? Week 1, you are at 9 minus $1. Week 2, blah blah minus 2 minus 10. But I would put you at negative 8 exponent. That doesn't make sense. Oh. I'm halfway there. Okay. One plus 1 to the 1x. There's something I'm missing here. Yeah, because 1 to the power of 10 is 1, so then it's actually not to this. It would be to... Oh, shoot. I see. Okay. I had it a little bit. Okay. It'd be a fraction. Yes. Because... Jeez, please, let me figure this out. This is something I should know. This is something I did know. But I forgot. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. For the first week, it would be 1. Why did I ever erase it? This answer has to be 1, so that means that this plus has to be 0. So, I don't know. X minus n over 10? Wait a minute, am I close? And the next week it would be 2. So it would be 2 minus over 10. That'd have to be 20. Okay, well what about the end state? The end state would be 1 plus functionally 9. But then this 9 would cap out at 9. So then it'd be what, 900? Minus n over 10? That can't be right. Then where's the x go? X is the number of weeks. So by the 9th week, you'd be capping out at 10. The first week, it would be 0. The second week, let me erase it like this. Someday, this will all come to me like water. Well, there's always some good streams, there's some bad streams. Today's a bad stream. Let's keep going. Okay. So by the first week, this has to be 0. Okay, cool. And you know what? Let me just erase this plus, because maybe that's what's throwing me off. Maybe it's all over something, right? The second week, it would be $2. And by the 10th, 9th week, it'd be 10. Wait, no, 10th week it'd be 10. Oh, the 10th week it would be 10. Okay. So then, yeah, minus 0. Or plus 0. No, plus 0 here, and then plus 0 here. So it's just this number that increases. Okay. And it increases at the number of the week. So this could actually be x. But by week 11, that's when I have to actually minus it. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense. So to explain the thought process, what I'm trying to do is figure out an equation with which I can have it cap at week 10 and stay perpetually at 10. And so right now, if we just put in minusing $1 a week, and by the second week it's $2, third week it's $3, by week 10 it is $10, but by week 11 it also has to be $10. So the reason why is because by the 11th week, the first week's hamburger has already been paid off. So, I mean, it's like a if x greater than 11, then x equals 10. Pretty sure anything to the power of 0 becomes 1. Wait a minute, isn't there, maybe it's not an exponent, maybe it's the, little thing. I forgot what these are called. They go right there. Oh, jeez. Limit? It's a limit function. No, is it? I think it is. Right? No, that's close. I'm trying to remember. What is it called? Is it a function or a formula? Yeah, okay, so this is, I'm just having minutes of dead air because I'm trying to figure out an equation. But once I get it, jeez. I might even sit here all night even if I have to. Uh... Okay, so I'm looking up a math formula. If x is greater than 10, then it has to set x to 10. And I'm trying to recall how to do this. It's not quite an inequality. It's more like a limit. It's a something. Is it? Oh my gosh, what's a thing that has like the L shape? It might be one of those. Oh man. Quadratic formula? No. Oh, what would it be? Range formula. Would it be a range formula? But what's the notation for that? And I'm pretty sure it goes by a different name. Range formula, notation, mathematics. Intervals. Domain and range. I mean, I guess. But that's not quite. Would it really be like this? No way. I mean, I guess it is a formula. Okay. 9x brackets $x, where if x is less than or equal to 0, or no. That doesn't seem right. It's probably a function. But I don't think it's a... Because a domain and range is usually to describe things along a graph where you can only have certain set points, right? But should be a mathematical equation where things are limited once it hits a certain threshold. X value, that increases, but stops increasing once x is greater than 10. I know there's a thing for this, and I'm gonna hit myself in the head once I figure it out. It's not exponential. And it shouldn't be... Okay, math formula that counts for a variable that increases with x that increases by 1 but stops increasing even if x is greater than 10. A piecewise function? But, I mean, it only works for one side. Unless I do it like y, but no, that doesn't make sense. Like if I have x equal y, okay? Because here's the thing, if I have a function where x is defined, and I limit it, so let's say for example if I limit on this side it goes up to 10, and it goes up to 11 but it's still 10, and it goes up to 12 but it's still 10, but here it's still... Oh, this isn't correct. This is like the total amount, isn't it? I'm looking at the total amount. It doesn't matter. Okay, so to explain my thought process, here I'm trying to figure out a formula for where we have a number that increases by 10, right? But I was limiting this side, this entire side, by saying that it should only equal the current value it is per week. So going like 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's not true. It actually increases. No, I mean that's true. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, but it should also... You owe 1 the first week, 2 the next week, and then actually 5 the next week. Because it should be the total amount, not just the current amount that's owed. That's why you're able to have 9, 18, 27, and 36, right? Because this is the total amount each week. For here, it would be 1 the first week, the first week, then you owe 2 the next week, But you don't just... Well, it would go to 3 then, because it just increases by 1. Three. And so by week 10, you owe 90, and then it goes to 99, right? But the difference here is that by week 10, you go to 90. Sorry. You go to 10. Nope, I had it before. I'm being dumb. I was right. I'm trying to find that it would still be 10 each week there after, but I would need to have the total amount. So then it doesn't matter. It would just be like... Shoot. It would be X. No. I'm... This might be one of those things where I'm overthinking it so hard that I'm just... okay. Minus X. And it seems like that's the case. However, there is an excess amount. Because ultimately, what it is, it's actually minus 10. But I'm rewriting 10 to be per week. So the formula should equal 10. Whatever formula I have needs to equal 10 each time. Okay, and then I have to have an X. All right, let's start from here. Let's start for baby math. I was overthinking this. Okay. The compressed version of this formula is 9x minus 10x. Easy. Each week, you're actually losing $1, okay? Now, the thing is that 10x actually needs to be something else. Where it is actually... I need to rewrite 10x equals question mark. And on this side, I need to have it increasing by 10. So, and I need to rewrite this as a 1. So let me divide by 10x. You have 1 equals question mark over 10x. All right. Now, I also have to figure out to where this 1 caps out at 10, but still adds up. Gosh darn it, this is so hard. Okay. 9x minus 10x. This is the basic formula. It's so simple, but I'm overcomplicating it to try to explain how if you do like a buy now pay later formula with just minus 1, it looks deceptively good early on, and you look like you're saving a lot of money, but then you're in the hole later on. Okay. I had some of this right. The formula is ultimately going to be 10x equals something. But that something has to represent at first at 1. And then it has to represent as 10. So, for week 1, it should be something like 1 equals question mark over 10x. Fine. For week 10, And week 20. I need to equal the total amount, question mark X. Because by week 10 you'd owe $10. And then by week 20, you'd be paying for the holy crap, you'd still be paying $10, wouldn't you? Because the old debt would disappear and the new one would appear. So at week 20, where X equals 1, X equals 10, X equals 20. I would still need to be 10 over X. The heck kind of formula is this? It hurts. Okay. Okay. So for week 1, where X equals 1, it becomes $1. For week 10, where X equals 10, it's $10. But also for week 20, where X equals 20, it'd be $10. I have to divide by X both times. Or am I going this the wrong way? No, I am going this the right way. Okay. Now I have to think. What is the question mark? What parts of this formula am I missing? Now normally when it comes to mathematics, it's never this hard. I say that because normally they give you an equation. You plug in the numbers and it's nice and easy. But here, I'm trying to do something a little bit different where I have the numbers and I'm trying to figure out the formula. It's kind of hard. It's actually quite hard. I wish I knew the answer. And it's already time to go? No! No. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay and figure this out. Even if it takes me another 2 hours. Okay, maybe just another 1 hour. Alright. Ultimately, this is the formula I'm trying to figure out. Or do I even need to? I mean, what if it's super dumb? What if it's actually... Hold on. What if it's actually something really, really dumb where it's like 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4... Whoopsie daisy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. And so for the first week, you're only looking at this one. For the second week, you're looking at this one. Alright. Third week, you're looking at this. Fourth week, you're looking at this. Sixth week, you're looking at this. Seventh week, and so on until you go to the 10th week where you're looking at this, and it's that amount consistently. If it's just like 1x, a sequence! It's a sequence! Oh my goodness! It's a sequence! Oh, it's a sequence. Okay, sequence formula. X where X caps at 10. Why couldn't I remember sequence? And it is n minus 1. Yeah, okay. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be lazy. I'm gonna bust out the sequence calculator. I'm sorry. No. Okay. I'm so sorry to disappoint everyone. But I'll get this. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. What? Okay, hold on. Multiplied n minus 1. Not 52 minus 1, is it? How to find a sequence formula when you have the sequence. But it's like a sequence that's weird, because normally for sequences they continue ad nauseum to have ever-increasing numbers. Or they follow some sort of pattern. Here, it actually, the sequence stops. And I think that's what's making it unnecessarily difficult. What is the sequence for this thing? Yeah, so for anyone who's joining, I'm trying to figure out a sequence formula for something that doesn't continue into infinity. It's actually a sequence that goes from 1 to 10, increasing by an integer of 1, and then caps out at 10, and then even if the variable increases to 15, 20, 52, whatever, it would still result into 10. It'd make more sense if it was something that was counting, like, maybe even backwards. Because, let's say, for example, if it's a... Jeez, why is it so hard? What kind of sequence would it be? Oh. Would it be x minus 1? Yes. By George, it would be something like that. Okay. Sorry, a lot of this is coming back to me, but I'm thinking, could be wrong, that if I have some, let's do smiley face. Let's just do y. So y minus 1 no 10 yes x and then where it is the week I want to have something where it adds up by 1, 1 plus 1, and then it becomes 10 plus 0. So then it caps out at 10. Okay. So to get 10 plus 0, I have to have a, not an impossible number, but where the fraction is just 0 on the bottom. And so this could count up into infinity. A sequence that stops at 10. So then whatever it is, it would have to be, let's say if week 20 is x, then it would be something z minus 20. Some x equals 0. Alright, we're getting there. Oh boy. Oh, what if it's just really easy? 11 minus 1? 11 minus x over 10x So that way if it is... No. That'd make it work for the first week, but by the week 2, it'd be 9 over 20. That's not right. But it would work if it was over... like this. It'd be 0 over 1. Then negative 1 over x. Negative 1 over 2. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Up until a certain point, it becomes x. So 10x would just equal x. That's what I did wrong. What I did wrong here is that I was trying to figure out the sequence and I was on track. However, I was focused on getting 1 here when I don't actually need 1, I need x. So for week 1, it actually wouldn't be divided by 10x. This 10x would actually be x divided by 10. And that even goes for week 10, where it would be x divided by 10. And then it sort of flips where once it reaches a week 20, then it becomes 10 as a flat number. That makes more sense. Because then what I could do is have geez, I don't know. Top part would have to equal 10. So question mark equals 10. Question mark here to equal okay. We have 10x equals an unknown formula. Breaking it apart, for week 1, where x equals 1, the y formula, also known as question mark, is equal 10. For here, the x formula, we would need to get a result of 10, so then question mark would have to equal 100. And for here, for week 20, question mark would have to equal 200? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And so then is it 10 to the power of x? No. Because if it wasn't by week 2, it'd be 100 over 10. Which would equal 10. Over 10, 200 over 20. Now, I think this 200 is kind of throwing me off, because if we do something as an intermediary, let's say 15, right? It's have to be 150. Okay. Oh, what happened? I think I erased too much. Okay. Well, let me look at 5. It'd be 50 over 10. So the top part, looking at this pattern, simply looks to be 10x. Divided by, and at first, for the first 10 weeks, it's by 10, and then thereon it becomes something else. So 10 plus probably some sort of formula or fraction here, where for the first weeks it has to be 0, and then it becomes 1. So if x equals 1, this is 0. If x equals 2, this is 0. If x equals 9, this is 0. If x equals 10, it's 0. And then if x equals 11, then it becomes 1. One through 10. Then question mark equals 0. X equals 11 plus question mark equals 1. Almost there. Oh my goodness gracious, I am almost there. Okay. So what could I do to get 0? I mean, I could get a negative number, but that's not gonna work if I put like x minus 1. Oh. Oh, duh. It'd be 1 times Um, would it be 1 times 10? 1 over 10 minus x? No. What's a way to get a 0? A conditional 0. Alright, I'm in deep in the weeds. Let me look back at this formula. Alright. This is what it basically is. 9x minus 10x. Always counting up. Alright. Now what it's going to look like though is it splits into pieces. Week 1, week 10, week 20. Or it becomes x, and then it becomes 10. And the formula for that would be x10 divided by 10 plus 0, 0, 0, 0, and then it increases by 1. Okay. So I have the 1, and then now I have to figure out this formula, where it needs to equal 0. Or does it? I am assuming that this is 10. It does not have to be 10. It has to equal 10. So 10 equals 1 times formula question mark upside down question mark plus 10. Minus 10, minus 10. So you get 0 equals 1 to the question mark. Zero equals question mark, yes. How do I get that 0? The easiest answer would have it to be divided by 0. But there's also other formulas too. Ah, jeez. Okay. Math formula where x is set to 0 for any value lower than 10. Yeah, that's like a cell. I don't need if-then formulas. Limit formula to 0. Yeah, I need an X on the top and on the bottom. Something like this. It's gonna look dumb. 1 to x over x minus x. Fine. So it doesn't matter how high this goes, this will always be 0, this will make this number 0, fine. But then once it hits 15, right? 15. So 15 equals... something minus 15. No. It would be 15 minus something. Minus 0. I'm just doing some stupid recursion where I'm just repeating it. Why isn't it working? There. Maybe I was close. I'll probably have to look at this again. Jesus Christ, is it? No way. No way. That's a fraction. It maybe should be flipped. Alright, let me just look at this formula for a bit. So, we have, for the first week, x minus 10 over 10, or x. So that'd be 1 minus 10 over 1. That'd be 9. Okay. For week... -9. For week... 5, be 1 minus 5. Equal -4. But I would need it to be -5. Because 10 minus 9 is 1. I think I might have to give this one up. Darn. So close. I just cannot sort out the sequence. Well, I mean, what if it's super easy? What if it is minus 10, right? So if it's week 5 minus 10, then it's equals to -5, and then if it's week 10, it's 10 minus 10, and week 20, it's week 15, 15 minus 10. Yeah, it's probably some stupid easy formula. Like, let me just spitball something. 10x equals... Well, let me just ignore that 10x. X minus 10. One minus 10 is -9, week 1. 5, if x is 5, 5 minus 10 is -5, so that would be 5. And then let's see, for week 15, you got 15 minus 10 is plus 5, then it becomes $15. Okay. Almost there. Almost there, because here's what I got. I have 10, it counts down each week, and I have a minus that increases, that has an amount that minuses from the 10 that decreases each time. So for the first 10 weeks, it checks out. For the 10th week, it checks out. For the 11th week, then I need to somehow null out this number. Make it a 0. I don't know. This all has to equal 10x. Maybe that's the answer, isn't it? Okay. I mean, it's not going to equal 10x though. That's my fault. It's not going to equal 10x because the total amount over time would equal 10x, yes. But the final amount would not, because even once you reach the 52nd week, you still have like a bunch of extra numbers. That was my fault. Okay. It's not going to equal 10x. Let me just solve for question mark then. Alright. I think I was so close to figuring out this sequence formula, but I messed it up. Fine. I will just go back and say the thing that I meant to say, okay? Ay. All this work was trying to figure out how to equate the buy now pay later equation to the real amount in which you're paying per week, the total amount, which would be 10x, where you maybe only have like a limited amount of money left over and you're overspending it, right? And if you're to spend and buy the thing directly, then you would clearly see that and you'd go in the red by the first purchase. I tried to figure out a formula to sort that out, but I messed up a lot of the math, and I forgot to account for the fact that even after we calculate the 52nd week, there'd still be a remainder amount that would still be due, and that's kind of the killer, right? But the point is that by maybe the 10th purchase, the 10th week, in which you try to buy a burger, then you're already going into the red every week. That would have been a much simpler explanation. And so I will do just that. Yeah. Alright. I'll do sequencing later. Back, way back to my original point about like an hour and 15 minutes ago. Is that when you try to use a buy now pay later program, it's deceptive. So say for example, if you feel like you have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Yeah. Let me go back to this thing. I gotta restate this a couple times just because that way I can think through as I go through it. Okay. So, last time I'll say this, and then I'm going to end the stream. My apologies to anyone that stuck by, but hey, I appreciate you watching and trying to watch me struggle with kind of coming up with a formula that I forgot and kind of relearning math on the go. But thank you for coming today. I really do appreciate it. Or watching the VOD. So, back to here with the buy now, pay later formula. Normally, if you only have, let's say, $100 you make a week, and you spend $91 on bills, and you have $9 remaining, right? You would know, okay, if I'm going to buy a $10 burger, then I should only buy it once every 2 weeks, right? And if you do that kind of math, you'll have like $8 left over. It's pretty good deal. But with the buy now, pay later, you're only paying $1 a week. And then maybe the next week you're paying $2, the next week you're paying $3 because you're buying a $10 burger every single week, and you think, oh, I can afford it because it's within my budget now. But that's not quite how it works, because with the original formula of understanding that you can only buy a burger every 2 weeks, then by the end of the year, you could spend about, you know, $260 on burgers, but still have $208 left over, right? that kind of works out. But if you're buying it every week, even though it might seem $1, $2, $3, $4, it's only $1, $2, $3, $4 for the first 4 weeks. By the 10th week, if you're still buying those $10 burgers and doing a $1 payment, you're still going to have the $1 payment from before, plus the full payments for the past 10 weeks of each $1 that you're buying on those burgers, which means that you're overspending and you're functionally losing $1 every single week, and you're going to go in the red real fast. And by the 52nd week, then you're actually looking at negative $52 because you're buying a $10 burger every week with a buy now pay later program. And that's why these things can be deceptive. So please be careful if you ever use them, because instead of properly paying for the full amount now and budgeting and being able to come up with a formula where you can actually have money left over for those purchases by just cutting that purchase in half, if you do it every single week, then you're going to end up in the red from those. Okay, there we go. I did it. Very simple explanation. Going to keep it more simple next time. And again, thank you for anyone who came to watch. I really appreciate it. Sorry for all the extra math. And I hope you all have a good night.